What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here with Tarver Cards, and I'm going to give you every tip I got about getting autographs from players at NBA games. Here we go. This is based on my own personal experience. If you have other tips, it's not a competition. Like, this works, so you can't do that at this stadium. Say it in the comments. Be like, hey, it's different at the Thunder Stadium or it's different at the Lakers Stadium. Let us know in the comments. This is not a competition. This is a share what you know, and let's all get better, okay? Let's all get better. So I just got done. I just did an episode recently where I was kind of recapping my first year as a half-season ticket holder for the Memphis Grizzlies. And these are what I learned about that. These tips for autographs, all right? If you want to get player autographs at games, again, and first, I'm going to start with this because people in the comments are always like, oh, they don't owe you anything. They don't have to sign anything. No, they do not. And keep that in mind. That is actually one of the tips we'll talk about later. They do not have to sign jack for you. It is not within their contract. You got to stop and sign for fans. No, it is not. It's not in there. Okay? So they do not have to. However, if you've seen my rankings, I have like 4 tiers of collectibles for autographs or memorabilia and autographs. This is a tier 2. If you go to a game and a player takes time, they do not have to give you to come sign something for you. That is a tier 2 collectible. I personally, my personal convictions, with the Holy Spirit moving through me here, I do not sell tier 2 collectibles, okay? Not saying I never will, but as of right now, I've never sold one. If a player is taking time to sign something for me, not like, oh, they're paid to go sign, but like they're at their game, they're about to play, whatever, and they walk over and spend 3 seconds signing something for me, I do not sell it as of right now. Not saying I never will, but I don't. So anyway, tier 2 collectibles. So at the games, number 1, first tip, pregame is the move. Pregame is the move. Almost never do players stop and sign something as they leave. I think one time I saw Jordan Poole stop and sign somebody's hat for him after a game. Like, I think, and then sometimes, okay, I say that. Some of these rules do not apply if you have courtside seats. Courtside seats, like the padded chairs down there, you're not like hanging over a rail like, please, sir, may I have another? You're like down there on the rail with the kings and queens and oligarchs. Like you're down there. Yeah, they'll toss you a shoe or they'll sign something for you maybe on the way out, but that's if you're on their route. They're not going to like walk out of their way if you're like center court. If you're center court, courtside, you have less of a chance of getting an autograph after a game than someone who has like a corner seat, like third row back. It's because they're on their way out. They're not going to make a trip, let me walk over and find this random person, sign something for them. So that doesn't really apply to courtside. They'll sometimes sign after games, and they'll even give out like shoes or jerseys, stuff like that to certain people, which I'll get into some tips for that too, because we got to watch that happen. Finn we've never gotten something after a game, like game used or anything from a player. I have a game used jersey of Jordan Poole, but I bought it at an auction of Fanatics. Finn almost got it. We talked to Daniel Gafford before the game. He signed some stuff, and Finn was like, can I buy your shoes from you? And he's like, oh, they'll be expensive. Like, we joked around about it a little bit, and I was like, I really will buy them from you. And he had to wear them for the game. It was his pregame warm-up shoes. Sometimes they'll give away their pregame warm-up shoes. But he's like, oh, no, we just kind of joke back and forth. Then after the game, Finn, like, had closer seats. He walked over to the rail, and he was going to ask Daniel Gafford if he could get his shoes from him. 2 kids, and it was a courtside kid, was like, hey, can I have your shoes? And this kid that, he got the shoes. So that kid got the shoes. And then Finn asked, can I have your headband? But he said it too far away. So the kid, one person in front of him goes, can I have your headband? And repeated Finn's line and got his headband. So Finn didn't get anything. So hopefully next year we can get some game-worn stuff that we can put up in Finn's room or my office or wherever, depending on who gets it, or if I can talk Finn into selling it to me, because I love me some collectibles. So, as you can see from the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. So, they're not signing the game after. If you want, you've got to get there beforehand. Beforehand, it is not, if you're like, oh, I got there as soon as the doors open, I went straight to the correct tunnel. The trick is you walk to the tunnel, lower bowl, where whichever team, like, because usually the teams go to different tunnels, whichever tunnel the team is walking out of, that's where you want to be, right there, preferably on their right-hand side, because most players are right-handed. Whatever side, like if you're like not courtside, you want to be as far down off to the side. Don't be at the front, behind straight behind seats. You don't want to be there. Even if it's on the front rail, they're not going to walk sideways up that rail. They're going to walk towards the tunnel. They're always making their way into that tunnel, okay? Very seldom do they come out and do that, okay? Pre-game, you're not guaranteeing. Like, well, I went pre-game and they didn't sign it. They might not sign pre-game. Some players do. We found if I'm doing like a rough percentage, I'd say about 60 to 70% of the players will sign pre-game that run through that tunnel. So I'd say it's honestly closer to 70%. The best team were the Washington Wizards and the Sacramento Kings. Those are the two best teams. Like, they signed everything for us. The worst team was the Boston Celtics. Like, a few of them, Tatum signed and a couple of their guys signed, but we had more guys just run on past us with the Celtics. So, again, they don't have to sign for us. I keep reiterating, little, I know they don't. Chill out. Gosh, I'm just giving you my tips here, all right? So, pre-game, it's close to the rail, at the tunnel that they're running through, okay? They're not going to walk up into the stands and feel, you're sitting in your seat. We signed this. No, get to the rail and stand there, and then you just got to deal with the security and what they're allowing you to do. Memphis is pretty chill. They let you stand there until a certain time, and then they make you go sit down. If you're on the visitor side, they let you stay a little longer. On the home side, as soon as John Morant walks out, he'll walk out and like high-five people. As soon as he walks out onto the court to warm up, he's the last one to warm up. They have security, that's their cue, and they tell everybody to go sit down. So Ja doesn't sign, he just walks back out. A lot of players will sign for courtside people and not sign for the people by the rails, like by the tunnels, the peasants, if you will. They'll sign for the courtside people. So if you can get courtside tickets, you increase courtside tickets, get there early, and you sit where they're walking into the tunnel. That is the best. I'd say those probably get 95% of the signature, especially if they are like a little kid. If you're a little kid and you're sitting in that spot courtside, you're 98% chance you're getting an autograph from every player that walks by. Okay. So another tip. So for us, again, the Grizzlies let you in about an hour and a half early. I don't know what most places, in the comments, let us know which most places do. They let you in about an hour and a half early. If you're a season ticket holder, you can, for some games, you can like contact your season ticket rep and get in 45 minutes earlier than that. And you get you go into like the garage and you get in early. And they give you like a little wristband. It's called pre-game shoot around. I don't think we were supposed to go sit there and get autographs. I think we were supposed to go sit like in the middle section, but we just kind of always walked our spot. So if you're from the Grizzlies, please don't stop me from doing that next year. Somebody tried to stop us this year, and I go, it was literally the last game of the year. We're walking to our spot to get the autographs, and they go, no, pregame shoot around. You got to go to the middle. I'm like, oh, they've done this all year. And the girl was just like, okay. She didn't care. So it's like, it's so funny. I don't know what it is, but like all the security has different rules and different levels of like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like most of them just don't care. Just go to where you're supposed to go. And we had tickets in that section, so that helps. All right. Next tip. Let's see. 45 minutes. For season tickets, you can get 45 minutes before the hour and a half early. So you're like getting there like 2.5 hours early, which is early but fun because you can get autographs. For main players you want, here's my tip. Have stuff specific to them. I'm not saying like big players. Maybe it is. Have stuff specific to the player you want the autograph. And I'm talking, if they have a signature shoe, bring their signature shoes. They will sign more for stuff that is specific to them. I've seen so many kids that'll literally just take off like a random Air Force One they're wearing and ask players to sign it. They have nothing to do with Air Force Ones, which they might and might not. But you're going to have a better chance of getting them to sign stuff if it is their signature shoe, because it makes it feel for the player, I think, that you're there for them, not just like, hey, you're walking by, will you sign this? Like, know their name, say thank you by their name, and then have them sign it. Like, it was always better. And sometimes it's tough because, like, you look at the rosters and people change their hair and, like, you're trying to pick them out. Like, I'm asking people, like, is that so-and-so? Like, I want to say thank you, Mr. Williams or Mr. Fox or, whoever. I want to say thank you by their name because I think it means more. So have signature shoes or jerseys. If you have their jersey, especially if they're not, like, the big name jersey person. So, like, at Grizzlies games, if you see a jersey there, I'd say 85% of the jerseys are John Morant jerseys. They got number 12 on them, okay? I've seen kids and adults hold out John Morant jerseys for Scottie Pippen Jr. to sign, or for like they hold out these jerseys for any player on the Grizzlies, which is fine. They'll sign them most of the time if they're signing stuff, but they're going to be more likely to sign if you're like, hey, like this is a Jaren Jackson Jr. jersey. He's going to be more likely to stop and sign if he sees his jersey, not just like sign this John Morant jersey or sign this whatever random jersey. Have specific. Now, The risk you run when you do that is that they don't show up or they don't sign. I've got a pair of LaMelo Balls Pumas. I don't want to wear them because there's no breathability and my feet would sweat like crazy in them. He didn't sign them. He didn't sign. He just ran by. So now I got to spend $100 on a pair of shoes. He's not signing, which is fine. I bought some of Klay Thompson's shoes. Guess what? He didn't even show up. Klay and AD didn't even go to the game today. So I was like, oh, cool. And we got there early for Klay Thompson. So I got a pair of shoes, which honestly, I buy my size. So now I can wear those if I want to. So that's why I kind of like I wear jerseys all the time. So I just throw them in my closet. And now they're jerseys in my rotation. So jerseys and shoes of the players you really want. Now, the other thing is, and I know this is a sports cards are dope thing. Yes, you can bring cards. I think players are less receptive to signing cards because they just assume we're all just going to sell them for money, especially if you're like a crusty middle-aged white dude like me. Like they think, oh, he's probably just going to sell it. Like that's why I made the joke. I started doing it earlier in the year. I'll be like, I promise I won't sell it. And it gets a smile or a laugh or reaction out of most of them. But it's true. I don't want to sell it. I want to put it in my collection. So cards are good. It's just then you have to stock up on cards from all those players. And then you're like flipping through them and you're like, here, we signed it. Like, it's a little harder to do cards, but it's cool because you can store them easier. Like I've got jerseys over here. I don't have wall space for all that. They're literally just stacked there. I'm going to hopefully have it in my new office, but like the jerseys, you quickly run out of wall space. And so there you go. Shoes. I really like shoes because I'll go with one of my kids and we'll both have one of the shoes and he'll get one, like Finn will get one signed. I'll get one signed. And that way I always joke around and say it's like a little like, I love you heart locket. Like he's got one, I've got one. He puts one in his room. I put one in my office. It's kind of cool and it's a great memory. So I really, honestly, I'm probably going to lean into the signature shoe thing more next year when it comes to autographs. Granted, another tip with the shoes, almost always they will only sign one per person. They will only sign one thing per person. Now, sometimes you get like the book boys, they'll have like 4 or 5 rookie cards out there and sometimes players will just sign them all. It's really easy for them. But we have never, like either myself or one of my kids, hold out both shoes and the player signs both. They've always only signed one. So I have one Tatum shoe, I have one Devin Booker shoe, and one Kevin Durant shoe sitting in my closet. They have no match because they signed. We didn't like split them. So if you want both signed, one of you holds one shoe, the other one holds the other shoe, and that's your one signature from that player. Most players only sign if they're signing one thing, which is fine. Like they're not paid to go sign. I say that Jordan Poole signed a couple things for us because he's the GOAT. So main players you want have stuff specific to them. Jerseys, signature shoes, things like that. If you bring a book of stuff to autograph, like if you have a book where it's like the cards are taped in there, I think that's a turnoff for people. So probably don't do that. Some people get it and they get 3 or 4 or 5, but the player's just like, this dude's about to go sell this. So I don't ever do that. I literally ask for one thing unless I'm holding a pair of shoes. I don't even ask. I'm just like hoping and please, sir, may I have another. So most players sign one thing per person. The shoes, you got to split them up if you want them both signed. That's your one thing each. If you're not courtside, be by that rail, preferably on their right-hand side. That's what I noticed. They walk out right-hand side. They're much more likely, especially if whatever side juts out the most. If there's like a peninsula of like, it's like, oh, we're kind of more in their way to get to the tunnel. That's a better chance. Oh, another tip. Don't just like hold it out there. Like one of my kids is a little more shy. He just like holds it. I got a couple other kids that'll be like, will you sign this, please? Like my daughter, she'll lean over the rail. Will you please sign it? Like she doesn't care. She'll go all out, which is great. And everybody signed for her almost, except for Schroeder and Kuminga and Looney. The Warriors actually had a lot of people. I said the Celtics were the ones that had the least people sign. The Warriors might have been up there as well. But then again, we were there for most of the Warrior stuff because I was like, I'm cashing in all my chips because I love Steph Curry. So, be vocal and say please. Like, hey, will you please sign this? And say their name. Hey, Mr. Curry, would you please sign this? Like, say it. All right, don't just spray it, or just don't just stand there holding it like a weirdo. Another little tip, and this is something that some people can and can't control. Be a kid. Be a little kid. They're much more likely to sign. I only went to 2 games where it was like me and another adult. I went with my wife one time at the Kings game, and then I went with my brother-in-law Tyler to another game. And when it's like, especially with my brother-in-law Tyler, like we're just 2 crusty white dudes. Hey, but my wife, she was like standing there back filming. She don't care. She was just filming me, and I was like, "Please, will you sign this?" And it was the Kings, and they were like one of the top 2 teams with regards to like everybody signed except for like Kevin Herter. So they were all super kind. It's probably why I got traded. I don't want to point fingers, but that's going to be until I hear directly from the GM. That's why I'm going to just assume that's why I got traded, because he wouldn't sign for us. But I'm just kidding. So I was just like, please will you sign it? And I had the best spot and it worked. And so they did. And so I just try to be nice. And if they don't, I'm like, okay, no worries. I might make a joke for the videos, for the vids, for the gram. Okay? Being the real, be a kid if you can. They sign way more for kids than they do for adults. And then if you want game use stuff, you got to ask. I say that I've never gotten game use stuff, but I see people that are courtside. Again, most times it's courtside people that get everything. I see people courtside that get stuff, game use stuff, every game. And I actually know, I've met a couple of them in real life. I've seen their memorabilia rooms. They're running out of room for where they do stuff. Like, they have to ask for shoes, not jerseys, because there's no room for jerseys anymore. And they get game use stuff constantly. So if you want game use stuff, you pretty much got to be courtside. And you got to be a little kid, and you have to ask, can I have your shoes? So we've got ideas for next year. So hopefully we'll get a couple game use things, because that'd be fun. Fun little challenge, fun little cool thing to put in the office. Next. Play sign getting on the bus. Oh, sometimes for certain places you can actually be out there when they're getting on the bus and they'll stop and sign. We only did it once. It was for the Suns, but with the Grizzlies, they always stay at the same hotel, and you can Google like what hotel do blank visiting teams stay at blank games, and it'll usually you can find it, and then you just got to figure out the time. The Grizzlies, I think. The buses usually load up around 4 for 7 o'clock games, like 3 hours early. So you can probably guess at different stadiums. So you can be standing out there, and they usually have it roped off. And sometimes players sign, sometimes they don't. I know some guys, I've talked to them when they were getting autographs after, and they go wait there. And so they'll be like, yeah, it went good. Or when, they didn't sign or did sign. Like tonight's game, we just got back from, we were wanting Klay Thompson's autograph. And they came in, we got in there early because our rep got us in. And then by the time they got there, he was like, yeah, man, I got friends that were at the bus thing, and they said Clay's not there, AD's not there, and Kyrie's not there. So I was like, oh, okay. So we went to the Grizzlies side because we really wanted Clay. So, so you got to get there usually about a few hours, 3 to 3.5 hours before, if you're going to wait near the bus thing, if you want to get autographs. Sports cards are cool, but it's tough to handle and go through because you got like pull out a thing, blow on it so it doesn't get smeared. What we do is if I have like players that I already have cards for, I'll bring them. And then I bring like jerseys or shoes of players that are like, these are players I really want, like kind of my main players. But then we kind of have a catch-all, because if a player walks by and they're signing stuff, you want to be like, oh, sign my arm? That's weird. So what I'll do is my kids and I, and this kind of worked for us, we just bought some cool-looking basketballs. I bought it from a company called Local Hoops. And there's one I just bought some stuff from. They're amazing. It's from Germany. It's, oh my gosh, what are they? I talked to the owner. He's super cool. But I'll have it linked under here. If not, leave a comment and I'll link it for you. But they are awesome. And Comrade Berlin, that's it. Make dope basketballs, like alligator skin basketballs. I'm going to hopefully get Jordan Poole to sign one at a game. But just get a dope looking basketball and take it, and then just have every other player you don't have like a jersey or something of, have them sign it. I have Hoopers Volume 1, Volume 2 basketballs of just like random players' signatures. So kind of a catch-all for it if you don't have their card or any of their memorabilia stuff. Last tip, be polite, ask nicely. Don't just stand there, hold your arm. Don't just be like, oh, don't get mad or expect. Don't yell, hey. Just like, will you please sign this? And they can say yes or no. Or they can just run. Most of the time they just run by as their no. Be appreciative. If they sign it, say thank you. Don't just be like, oh, I got it, and walk. Like, thank you so much. Like, these are human beings. Yes, they're way better at basketball than all of us, but they are human beings, and they are taking time to go and sign something for you that they do not have to. They do not have to sign it. Be kind, be respectful, whether they do or don't sign. But again, you don't have to, like I said, that I don't collect a couple players that just ran on by and how I saw them interact. You're totally well within your means to do that. But there's no reason to be rude to them or hateful for not doing it. So those are my tips. If you have any tips, throw them in the comments. Let's learn from each other. Let's all get better at autographs and getting stuff signed by dope Hoopers and or NFL players. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like and subscribe if you want to. No pressure. Be good, stay safe, and never stop collecting. Sports cards are dope. And so are you. So are you. Later, y'all.